Have you ever felt that, that incredible rush of confidence when you just can't seem to lose? Well, today, we're going to dig into whether that lucky streak is a real, measurable thing, or if it's just a powerful, fascinating trick our minds play on us. Let's get into it.
So let's just ask the big question right up front. Are lucky streaks actually real? Now, your gut might be screaming one way or the other, but the real answer, it's way more interesting. It's this amazing clash between cold, hard math and the very weird way our brains work.
You know this feeling. We all do. Maybe a few great hands of poker, or a couple of bets that hit, one after the other. It's this electric buzz, this sense that the universe has suddenly tilted in your favor. You feel like you're on a roll, and it's an incredibly powerful sensation.
Okay, and this right here, this is the heart of the whole debate. On one side, you've got pure mathematics, which tells a very, very clear story, and on the other, you have our own psychology, which tells a completely different and, frankly, more exciting one. So let's unpack this battle between the calculator and the mind.
All right, first up, let's put on our logic hats and look at what pure probability has to say about the whole idea of a hot streak.
The entire mathematical argument really boils down to this one core concept: independent events. All it means is that the outcome of one thing has absolutely zero influence on the next. So if you flip a coin and get heads 10 times in a row, the odds of the next flip being heads are, you guessed it, still 50-50. The coin has no memory. It doesn't know and it doesn't care what happened before.
And yeah, this says it perfectly. That slot machine doesn't remember that you just lost 10 times. That roulette wheel doesn't feel sorry for you and think, okay, let's give him a win. Nope, the odds reset to the exact same probability every single time. Every spin, every pull is a brand new day.
Now look at this. This is what real randomness actually looks like. We kind of expect it to be all neat and spaced out, like heads, tails. But in reality, randomness is lumpy. It creates clusters. So that string of 4 heads in a row isn't magic. It's not a sign. It's a totally normal, statistically expected part of a long random sequence. Seeing that clump and thinking it's special, that's a classic cognitive bias called the hot hand fallacy.
So if the math is so crystal clear, why can't we shake the feeling? Why does a streak feel so incredibly real? Well, let's switch gears and dive into how our own minds actually build this reality from the ground up.
It really comes down to how we're built. Our brains are first and foremost pattern-hunting machines. For thousands of years, our survival depended on it, right? Recognizing things like, those berries make you sick, or that rustling in the bushes means a predator is close. We are wired to find cause and effect, to build a story that explains the chaos, because that's what kept us alive.
And this is the story we tell ourselves. When one of those random clusters happens, that H, our pattern-seeking brain kicks into overdrive. Suddenly, it's not just random chance anymore. No, it's because I'm on fire, or my special system is finally working. We assign a cause to what is in reality just a random effect.
And listen, this isn't just some harmless little mental quirk. This belief has a direct, measurable, and often pretty risky impact on what we do in the real world. And here's the dangerous cycle that belief can lock you into. It starts simple. You win a few times, just by chance. Then, your brain kicks in, and you start to believe you're on a hot streak. That feeling of invincibility makes you take bigger risks. You bet more money. But because the streak was just an illusion, probability always catches up. And when it does, the losses can be way bigger because you were betting so high.
And make no mistake, the gaming industry knows all about this psychology. They design their games to pour gasoline on that little fire. All those flashing lights when you win, the celebratory sound effects, the way bonus rounds sometimes seem to pop up in bunches, it's all engineered to reinforce your brain's belief that something special is happening. But okay, after all that, here's where the story takes a really cool turn. It turns out data scientists actually are trying to measure streaks, just not in the way you might be thinking.
So, after everything we've just laid out, is there actually any way to measure a streak?
The answer, believe it or not, is yes.
But it is absolutely not in the way you're probably thinking.
See, what data scientists are measuring isn't some mystical force called luck. They're measuring us. They're measuring our behavior. They can literally see in the data that when we think we're on a streak, our willingness to take risks goes through the roof. Our bet sizes get bigger, our reaction times might even speed up out of sheer confidence.
They're not measuring magic, they're measuring a predictable human response to a powerful feeling. And that's the big reveal. The streak becomes a real, tangible, measurable thing. Not because luck itself is real, but because our belief in luck is so strong that it changes how we act in a very consistent and predictable way.
So let's go back to that first question. Are lucky streaks real? Well, from a mathematical point of view, they're a myth. They're just our brain misinterpreting normal random clusters. But psychologically, oh yeah, they are very, very real, with the power to control our emotions and drive our decisions.
It's a wild paradox, isn't it? It proves that while luck might not be a real force, our belief in it just might be one of the most powerful forces there is. Which leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If our brain is designed to see a hot streak in a random deck of cards, where else is it seeing them? In the stock market? In our relationships? In our careers? Where else is our powerful, ancient hunt for patterns shaping the world we see?